Alright, Airborne. I want to hear you sound off when you get in this vehicle. If you have parents asleep, wake them the fuck up with your screaming. I want to hear loud, boisterous, motivated voices. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the final phase to pre-jump. You will soon be issued a parachute, and I will no longer care about the welfare of your being. At this time, Airborne, mount the vehicle.
One mounting.
Two mounting.
I have a name.
3 in, Sergeant Airborne.
Alright! Whoosh, 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 whoosh. The helicopter's fucking flying, Airborne! We are approaching the drop zone! While we're approaching this drop zone, you will hear the pilot say, red light! Everyone, echo that! Red light! Alright! At that time, you will imagine yourself getting off your luxurious seats, standing up in the formation that you were on the ground, connecting your parachute to the rip line on the vehicle, and lining up on the door. The pilot will then say 10 seconds. You will repeat 10 seconds. 10 seconds. You will begin to shit your pants because you will be jumping out of a perfectly good aircraft. You will feel corn exiting your anus that you don't remember eating. You will then hear the pilot say 5 seconds. You will then repeat 5 seconds. At this time, the shit will slowly slide down your leg into your boot, and it will become uncomfortable. You do not like shit in your boot, do you, Airborne? At this time, the pilot will flip the lights inside the cab. The shit that has gently slid down your leg will now erupt out of the back of your pants, and you will shit on the person behind you. The guy in the back is not that lucky. He will be covered in so much shit, you could not recognize him. At this time, the pilot will say, green light. I did not tell y'all to repeat that, did I? You will repeat green light. At this time, one will stand up and say, one, jumping. And then he will exit the vehicle and probably die because of the shit that is now rolling down his leg. The second person in line will then count off in their head. 3, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. 1, Mississippi. And then say 2, ejecting, jumping out. They will say, I love you, Sergeant Airborne, because they are scared. 2.
Two ejecting. I love you, Sergeant Airborne.
He will then fall to his face on the ground because he did not pack his parachute correctly. He's only wearing a tactical vest camo. At this time, 3 will start counting off from 3. He will go 3, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. 1, Mississippi. He will then eject out of my vehicle and scream, 3, Sergeant Airborne.
3, Sergeant Airborne.
He will then fall first on his face because he is not wearing a parachute, probably dying from a terrible head concussion. At this time, 4 will realize that he is next up, stand up, and look outside the door. He will then count down, 3, Mississippi, 2, Mississippi, 1, Mississippi, and eject from the vehicle, screaming, 4, Sergeant Airborne. The last man will then be approaching the door. He will think that he is covered in shit and is ungrateful for the shit that his friends have thrown on his face. He will then count down from 3, 3, Mississippi, 2, Mississippi, 1, Mississippi. He will say 5 out, Sergeant Airborne, all out, and then eject the vehicle.
5 out, Sergeant Airborne.
He was then caught by the tail rudder and killed. What a tragic death. Alright, on your feet, Airborne. Was my scenario too complicated for you?
No, Sergeant Airborne.
Orville, I know you're typing, but you can still stand. The shit has gotten in his boots to the point where he is no longer able to support his own body weight. Gentlemen, that is what happens when you shit your pants. What's that, Sergeant Airborne?
I missed something.
You missed a lot, Sergeant Airborne.
All I know is I've got shit